Well guys, it looks like I'm going to have to remake my video showcasing all donations to Ukraine. You know, the ones from around the world, because the money, weapons and goods are still flowing like a raging river as we speak. I mean, just 4 days ago, Boris announced £300 million more going over there, which I actually covered, but now apparently he's sending another 1.3 billion. So what is that? 1.6 million in less than a week, all while they hemorrhage votes at home because people are broke and sick of being ignored. Obviously, this money being sent over there becomes literally even more of a piss take when you think about the cost of living crisis, tax rises and failing public services here, but of course the media won't point that out, will they? They don't mind promoting him spending more money over there, but they won't ever point out the fact that it could and should be used here, and to prove my point, the Telegraph literally writes this. It states the funding means that the UK military spending on a conflict is at the highest rate since the campaigns in Iraq and Afghanistan. So we're going back towards Iraq war military spending on a conflict we're not even fighting in. Is it just me, or does that seem a bit fishy to use lot also? Now either way, these incredible sums of money being sent over there could help people here a lot, as I've said before. I mean, we are talking billions, and the same goes for America also, but for now let's focus on the UK. In fact, I will just list what we have sent in this video here, though I will have to put together another one showing how much all countries around the world have sent there, because billions more has been sent since my last one, I've got to say. But anyway, enough of all that. For the UK, we've literally sent in 2022, and not including this new 1.3 billion today this list here. It says delivered thousands of NLAW and Javelin anti-armoured weapons, stated to be over 4,000 as of 16th of March. 25 million in financial backing for the Ukraine military, unspecified further military aid on the 28th of February 2022. Unspecified number of Javelin anti-tank missiles on the 10th of March 2022. The UK announced a further 6,000 defensive missiles will be sent to Ukraine on the 24th of March 2022. Starstreak man portable air defense systems, which obviously are going to cost a bloody bomb, have been sent there also. Up next, on the 31st of March, UK announced a supply of unspecified amounts of armoured vehicles and long-range artillery to Ukraine. On April 9th, a figure of 120 armoured vehicles was given alongside an unspecified number of anti-ship missiles. On the 14th of April, an interview gave the following partial breakdown. 40 CRV vehicles derived from the Stormer HMV Shorad, which is an armoured vehicle, costs a bloody fortune. The FV-104 Samaritan, another armoured ambulance, FV-106 Samson armoured recovery vehicle, and FV-107 Scimitar tracked recon vehicle, so all of them are going to cost an absolute bloody fortune. That's what they look like there. It goes on, 80 protected mobility vehicles, including Mastiff protected patrol vehicle, Wolfhound tactical support vehicle, and Husky tactical support vehicle, so expensive equipment all round. Here it says the British Army donates 84,000 helmets to Ukraine, because obviously we must not need them. Next up, UK announced an additional £100 million in military aid on the 8th of April. This is something I actually covered at the time. This includes further Starstreak missiles, 800 NLAWs, Javelin anti-tank missiles and precision loitering munitions. Further military helmets, night vision equipment and body armour will be provided on top of 200,000 pieces of non-lethal military equipment supplied so far. Now, I don't know about anything else, but me playing Airsoft has put me in touch with people who've bought old night vision kits and they're costing like 10 or 15 grand, so current gen ones must be like 40 or 50, I'm sure. And they've sent bloody thousands of them, let's be honest. It goes on, UK announced a further unspecified amount of lethal military aid to Ukraine on April 23rd. The Prime Minister confirmed that the UK is providing more defensive military aid, including protected military vehicles, drones and anti-tank weapons. So their unspecified amount could literally be anything from hundreds of millions to billions, I've got to tell ya. Up next, and the final military part of this, is a further £300 million arms package that was announced on the 3rd of May by Boris Johnson in a video addressed to RADA. This is something I literally covered the other day, as I said. It includes electronic warfare equipment, counter-battery radar, GPS jammers, thousands of night vision devices, 13 bulletproof Toyota Land Cruisers for civilian officials such as mayors and the rest of them, and heavy cargo lift drones. So that there was just the military shit, and let me tell you, it's an absolute fuckton, I've gotta say. Now though, let's move on to financial aid, or should we say loans that we've given to Ukraine. Here it says the 23rd of February. pledged £3.5 billion in UK export financing and underwrote £500 million in MLDB borrowing and provided a £100 million loan via the World Bank for economic development. So there we're actually taking debt on for Ukraine, which I've got to say really takes the piss. 23rd of March it says the UK donated £100 million directly to the Ukrainian government budget to mitigate financial pressures created by Russia's unprovoked and illegal invasion. So there the government's literally giving £100 million of your money directly to the Ukrainian government. I don't know if any of yous are happy with that. I know I certainly fucking ain't. It goes on the 9th of April, UK increased its World Bank loan guarantees to £730 million or $1 billion. So they added another like £230 million on top of the £500 million they did there. And finally, for this little section here, it says the UK announced it was cutting tariffs and quotas on all trade with Ukraine to zero. That I don't really care about. Now though, let's move on and look at the humanitarian aid that's been sent over there also. Here it says £100 million of humanitarian aid announced on the 23rd of February 2022. £40 million of additional humanitarian aid announced on the 27th of February 2022. And up next, an additional £80 million in aid to help Ukraine deal with the humanitarian crisis on the 1st of March 2022. So what's that? Within like a week, they've been given £220 million just there. We've also got £4 million given to Ukraine on the 28th of February twice. No one was actually given on the 1st of March. It goes on, UK announced supplies of rations, medical equipment and other non-lethal military aid will also be increased on March 10, 2022. It goes on the 14th of March 2022, the UK government announced plans to provide vital energy support to Ukraine through the Ukraine Electricity Network Support Task Force. The UK donated more than 500 mobile generators. Yeah, people are piss poor for energy here, but they can help them get electricity over there. That figures, don't it? Now we got 2 million in vital food supplies for areas of Ukraine encircled by Russian forces. UK announced the donation of a fleet of ambulances to Ukraine on April 6, 2022. UK announced the amount it had donated through multilateral donor conferences for humanitarian aid totaled $394 million so far on April 9th. On the 25th of April, the UK donating a further 22 ambulances on top of 20 ambulances and a further 40 fire engines already donated. And it's also giving £300,000 of medical training in treating mass casualty victims and £300 in medicine and supplies. On the 4th of May 2022, the UK announced it will provide 570 generators to Ukraine. On the 6th of May, the UK government pledged $45 million to UN and humanitarian groups in and around Ukraine and additional medical supplies. Now remember, every time they say UK or UK government, what they really mean is yous lot. You lot have given all this money out. Well, obviously you didn't. They did it on your behalf without ever asking. So there you literally see, though, it's a bloody lot at the end of the day, whether it be humanitarian, military or financial. We are giving far too much to them while everyone's on the balls of their arsehole here. If you ask me, the military hardware should and could be sold and the rest of it could literally be spent on things here, but most annoyingly of all is us taking on debts for Ukraine, as I said when going through it. The country is in enough debt without our government underwriting loans for other nations that we will likely end up paying back. So after seeing all that, remember whenever you see some melt screaming I stand with Ukraine while also moaning about the cost of living and Boris not helping, remind them standing with Ukraine exacerbates the cost of living in about 150 different ways, and Boris Johnson is sending shitloads over there rather than helping you. But now though guys, I'm going to leave it there, but I did think it was important to point out that more taxpayer money is being funneled into Ukraine, all while people here don't have a pot to piss in.
There is a pattern consistent throughout history of oppressed people turning on the oppressors, slaves against their owners, the peasantry against the feudal barons, colonies, Mr. Verhofstadt, against their empires, and that is why Britain is leaving. And it doesn't matter which language you use, we are going and we are glad to be going. We're off.